Another quick video here to just give an idea of what I consider a pretty energized and a great protein energy shake. As always, the disclaimer is, these ingredients can vary depending on what you like. This is just what I tend to use, and I notice, when I use these ingredients, when I make this particular shake, it'll cut down for me. Like I find myself typically not hungry as often, and it gives me a boost of energy. So these particular things here, I'm just going to kind of go over just a few of them. Of course, you can check to see what's good for you and how it works best for you, what you may want to use, what you may not want to use. Other items I'm going to use to pretty much dump in my blender. For bare minimalist, I kind of like quick meals, and I like grab and go type of things work best for my lifestyle. I got some cauliflower in there, some celery there, and just get ready to wash those, and I'll be adding some other ingredients such as for organic spinach, banana. We'll have some alkaline water. That's going to be great base that I'll use to add into the shake. 100% pure coconut water, that's excellent for me. Some black seed oil, I'll throw a little bit in there. Got some blackberries, organic broccoli. What I'm missing is flax seeds. Come in a pack that I usually like to add to this blend, but they were all out of that. So kind of a little wonder powder here. I'll be going over that. That's going to be your organic red Reishi powder. If you don't know about that, definitely look up what that's all about, but I'm going to explain a little bit of that. We have a natural Neem powder here. As you can, some kale and many other mixed ingredients there. Green superfood is another one that I like to use. Is pretty much extra additive all in one, so to speak, where you can get a good amount of nutritional greens. One of my go-to protein powders are kind of controversial, but one that I like that I use as a shake, blend, or base is the protein Vega. That's pretty good. And organic just black cherry. There again, I'm using that as somewhat as a little bit of a sweetener, but what I found, banana is usually good enough, but sometimes 1.5 or 2 usually gets the job done for me. First, I'm gonna start with my red Reishi organic powder. This is up to you. What I typically do is I usually fill one of these up, and I'll drink off of this for like sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the evening. It all depends on how much of a workout I'm gonna get in. Sometimes I'll take like a large, maybe even a gallon, and I like making this in bulk because I drink it so regularly. When I make this regularly by itself, it can have a pretty harsh taste. I always call it earthy because I always say, oh man, this stuff is organic, it's raw, but typically the good stuff is not the best tasting, in my opinion. But with this, I just take a little bit of this, and this is pretty good as an immune booster. I'm not going to go into all of the properties, but check it out for yourself. You might be impressed. I'm going a little heavy with this because this is going to be a big batch that I'm making. So I'm doing about, as I go along, I'll just add to it. So I'll take some of the coconut oil here. This is really good as an energy booster. I find when I'm drinking this stuff, man, when I go through my workouts, I don't usually get tired as often, and I have extra energy. Next up is green superfood, amazing grass, your daily greens. I do multiple scoops because there again I'm going heavy with it. Natural energy, promotes detox, helps alkaline. Make up some of the nutrients in some of these protein powders. So there again, 1 scoop is typically what's recommended. Generally, there again, if you're making a protein shake, I got the super blender here, but generally they have the the grab and go, the one size blenders that you can blend your shakes in and just, you know, walk out the door. I'm going to mention here, this is going to be protein and energy. This is Vega. This is a plant-based protein shake. It's gluten-free, vegan, no sugar added, no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. And this is the texture and what this particularly looks like on the inside. Dump in my spinach. There goes my blueberries. Got my celery in, my cauliflower. Add a little broccoli in there, and then I'll be set to go. The thing about making this blend is that I always mentioned before, you can get as creative as you like, because I've added the cherry in there. So this is organic, just cherry. And that gives me like the sweetener that I like, that helps cut down on some of the harsh taste. More reddish because I also add in, sometimes I'll add in the cranberry juice, spray cranberry. I added just a dash of that in this as well. And for the most part, that's kind of going to be incomplete what makes a good blend. I'm going to add a little bit of this black seed oil. This is 100% pure cold press black seed oil. This has a lot of great properties. I advise like reading up on this too, if this is going to be something that'll work for you. But that's another great thing for me from the standpoint of a good immune booster. Sometimes I'll add fresh cranberries when they're available during the season, or some strawberries. So my balanced blend is kind of a bit of, it's a half and half. It's half fruit and half vegetable. Sometimes I go a little bit harder on the vegetable part. As you can see, this is a bit more veggie heavy. Then I look into the freezer and I actually found some additional ingredients that I'm going to use here. And so I'm going to use some strawberries, and I found some asparagus. So these are prepped and ready to go inside. And one of the things there, again, people do not have to do this. It's a personal preference once again, but I use a little bit fat-free milk sometimes, and I'm going to use that just to add to, you know, some of the liquid in this to get all ingredients all set to go. Power on. All set. Take my liter here, and you know, this is grab and go for me. So I'll go ahead and drink this, you know, 8 ounces, 12 ounces. No matter how many ounces I go through, it make the bigger bottles that's in something like this. Then you know, I can just pour it in a glass in the morning or in the evening, whenever I feel like it. Or I feel like, you know, once you get in the habit of drinking it, it's just, you know, you don't even think about it. But that's what kind of gets me through the day and often through the week. That concludes it. This is pretty much what we're looking at. This is what I consider a well-balanced blend. There again, this color is looking like that because this particular protein shake is called cold brew coffee. This almost looks like coffee. Let me see what it tastes like. It actually tastes pretty good. Taste is subjective. One good thing to keep in mind with this, it's you know, once you drink this thing, some of these, and use these supplements regularly, you get accustomed to the taste. But you know, it does have a bitter taste to it. I do not taste anything that's actually really sweet in there, even though I added some ingredients that are sweet, but a little bitter. But you know, overall, you know, I'm looking at what's included in this palette here that's used to make this blend. And like I said, I noticed a major difference in my energy level, in my stamina, and I just don't find myself being as tired. And, you know, this will noticeably for me, and I think for others, you'll kind of find yourself not being as hungry. You know, I'll take, this is my breakfast in the morning. If I feel like, you know, depending on my, you know, your cheat days, or if you're eating not the best, you know, this, I feel a lot better when I take this, because I have an idea that I'm getting certain nutrients and supplements that I'm missing, or just don't have the time to make in the day. So I feel good that I can get my vegetables in the morning and in the evening. And so there you have it. That's typically what I consider or use as a good balanced blend. And hope you enjoyed the video.